everyone, here's what's coming up tonight on News Center Now. Maine's largest city is taking Big Pharma to court.
And the damage has already been done, so I think it's important for us to hold those people accountable.
If lawyers can prove the drug companies are partially responsible for the opioid crisis, the city can win millions to pay for treatment and recovery.
A photo that is both heartbreaking and inspiring. Brothers and sisters in arms lie in the hospital hallway, sending off a service member donating his organs.
This is News Center Now. Portland is the latest city to file a lawsuit against the major opioid manufacturers in America for the effect the drug epidemic has had on the city. Hello, I'm Lindsay Mills.
And I'm Lee Goldberg. The suit seeks $1 billion in damages from the companies for a list of allegations including fraud, negligent marketing, and public nuisance. Chris Costa following the story today. Chris, recovery advocates say that these pills can lead to heroin.
Yeah, Lee and Lindsay, recovery advocates say that about 80% of people who use heroin start because of their use of opioid prescription pills. Drugs killed a record 418 Mainers in 2017. The overwhelming majority of those overdose deaths were using at least one opioid. Seth Blaze is one of the thousands of Mainers in recovery, 10 years of struggling with substances and overdoses now behind him.
I didn't start by using illicit drugs. I started with prescription medication.
A new lawsuit from the city of Portland claims major opioid manufacturers knew the dangers before they pushed these pills onto physicians and patients. The addictive qualities and waning effectiveness with increased use. The 384-page complaint spells out the city's massive losses, not only money, but lives.
The opioid companies must be held accountable.
In the last year and a half, Portland police, fire, and public health staff have administered hundreds of doses of naloxone, the overdose reversal drug. Public Works crews report picking up roughly 1,800 discarded needles across the city in 2017 alone. And the overdose calls are only going up.
They may have known how addictive these can be and how much they can lead to more significant problems.
Meanwhile, the city needs more money to create more recovery beds in detox facilities.
So we're turning away people every day because we don't have enough resource. You know, we don't have enough beds to meet the need.
Maine's only non-hospital inpatient detox facility, Milestone Recovery, has only 16 beds.
There are moments where they're ready to enter treatment and receive services. And if the door is closed at that moment, if they're told they can come back in 3 weeks and come in, the door might as well never be open.
If we win this lawsuit,
Mayor Strimling says if they win the lawsuit, he would suggest the city spend the money on treatment and recovery programs. Blaze says more important than the outcome is the message.
This is unacceptable behavior. Money is not more important than the lives and the health of our people. And companies that come in and make a profit over the death of people in our community need to be held accountable.
Now, we reached out to some of the companies named, or all of the companies named in the complaint, but only some of them wrote us back, including Janssen Pharmaceuticals. They said, our actions in the marketing and promotion of these medicines were appropriate and responsible. The labels for our prescription opioid pain medicines provide information about their risks, benefits, and the allegations made against our company are baseless and unsubstantiated. Many of the companies have information on their websites detailing what they are doing to combat the opioid epidemic. Lee and Lindsay.
All right, Chris, thanks. So there's obviously no doubt it's a life-saving drug, but some people are very concerned that easy access to Narcan could actually make the opioid epidemic worse.
Naloxone, the active ingredient in the overdose reversal drug, may soon be sold over the counter in Maine pharmacies, but lawmakers, doctors, and the governor can't agree on who should have access to the meds. There will be a hearing tonight before the Maine Pharmacy Board to hash out whether or not there should be an age limit. According to the Associated Press, the Pharmacy Board suggests 18 and older, while Governor Paul LePage is asking for 21 and older. Democratic House Speaker Sarah Gideon is backing legislation for no age limit. It's time for you to weigh in.
As you can see, the Pulse poll already up at the bottom of your screen. Go to pulse.newscentermaine.com so you can vote. Who should have access to naloxone over the counter? Your options are 18 plus, 21 plus, or no age limit. Or naloxone shouldn't be sold over the counter at all.
All right, but today the nation's top doctor had a clear message. Get naloxone, save a life. For the first time in more than a decade, a Surgeon General's advisory went out to physicians across the country.
NBC's Dan Sheneman has our story.
Today in America, addiction is a public health crisis.
A stark recommendation today from the nation's top doctor, who suggests more Americans, including the family and friends of opioid users, carry the overdose antidote, naloxone.
We can make sure no mother ever has to open up that bedroom door and find their son dead or overdosing and unable to respond.
U.S. Surgeon General Jerome Adams says more than 100 people die from opioid overdoses every day, and the majority are in the home. The drug, which often goes by the brand name Narcan, costs about $130, and the government says it is working to get that cost lower.
Price should not be a barrier for anyone to access this important life-saving medication.
A new study by the Kaiser Family Foundation finds that spending on opioid prescriptions is down 27% since 2009, while the cost of treating addiction has soared.
This isn't so much people who are getting legitimate prescriptions who are abusing them. It's more illicit drug use that's happening, that's driving up the costs of addiction and overdose treatment. So that illicit drug trade could be online sales or street drugs like heroin.
Just this week, the head of the Food and Drug Administration appealed to internet providers to stop selling narcotics online as the battle against opioid addiction escalates. Dan Sheneman, NBC News.
All right, take a look at our post-poll results so far. It is not too late to vote. You see the results at the bottom of your screen. We'll take a final look at the tallies before our show here is over. Go to pulse.newscentermaine.com to make yourself heard.
All right, Lee, doesn't it look beautiful outside right now?
It does, and then you go out there and you're like, what? It's cold.
Looks are deceiving, aren't they, Jess?
Yeah, it was cold today and windy too, right, guys? The winds gusted over 40 to 45 miles an hour in some spots. This is a look at the current wind speeds right now. Most of us around 15 to 20 miles an hour, but the gusts are even higher, and it is still breezy tonight. Winds gusting right now 30 to 35 miles an hour in most spots. Of course, that's making the temperatures that are already pretty chilly feel even colder. Check out this. Mount Washington's highest wind gust this morning, you know, a mere 119 miles an hour. Very gusty winds across the rest of the state, though, today. Again, 40 to 45 mile an hour, most of our peak gusts. That made these temperatures feel even colder. The actual air temperature is not too bad. Most of us are in the 30s right now, 33 in Bangor, 39 in Portland, 34 in Augusta, and 36 in Lewiston. But with the wind, it feels like we're in the 20s. It only feels like 22 in Bangor. Caribou and Holton feels like 7 degrees. Even in Portland feels like 29. Not a lot going on outside. If you just look at the satellite radar, of course, we have sunshine out there, but things are going to change as we get into the day. Tomorrow overnight, not too bad. But as we head into tomorrow, especially tomorrow afternoon, we'll start to see some snow move in. Just a little bit, though. We'll talk about the timing of that and the forecast totals coming up in a bit. Guys?
All right, Jessica, thank you very much. So it's so cold that it's baseball season. Fans packing the bleachers for opening day at Fenway Park. We will be live from Yawkey Way coming up. And
he wasn't even part of the same branch, but we're all one team, and we all represent the same thing.
A military send-off before a U.S. service member gives the gift of life. That's next. An extremely emotional final send-off for a military veteran has taken over the internet in the last 24 hours.
Yeah, a U.S. Marine who reportedly served 2 terms in Iraq died recently, and as he was taken into surgery to donate his organs, dozens of people representing law enforcement, first responders, firefighters, military members lined the halls at Maine Medical Center to honor their brother-in-arms. This image, posted by Michael McGrath, was taken just after the Marine's body, which was covered with an American flag, was escorted down the hallway. About 50 people standing at attention.
None of us met this individual. None of us wanted to know his name or, you know, anything about him. We respected that. It was just the fact that he was a brother in arms, and we just wanted to pay respect to him.
It's a humbling experience because it's something that's so much bigger than what you are. He wasn't even part of the same branch, but we're all one team, and we all represent the same thing. And so just to see that turnout for that is just, you know, it's a very emotional experience.
Now, Steven San Pedro from the VFW told me that it was about 4 hours from when they first got the phone call from a medical center saying that they needed people to be there for this send-off. And all of the people that they contacted dropped what they were doing, got themselves there. And again, more than 50 people showed up to pay that final honor. So.
A powerful photo. You just have to see the photo. I can't imagine actually being there in that moment, too. All right. Well, right now on Facebook, we are talking about Narcan. Make sure to vote in today's Pulse poll. Who should be allowed to buy naloxone over the counter? Go to pulse.newscentermaine.com to vote. The results are coming up.
And also ahead on Now. First, Facebook takes our data, right? And now they're taking our potential lovers. Yeah, I'll explain after the break on Social Stop.
They say April showers bring May flowers. So what does April snow bring? Jess will tell us in her full forecast.
This Usher has waited his entire life for this moment. When the dance cam came to him at the Houston Rockets game a couple nights ago, he put all the fans and everybody else to shame. They could not compete with those moves. This video was shared, obviously is blowing up online. You can see the entire thing on our mobile app and our Facebook page.
This is more a question for maybe our digital diva, Katie Ortiz, but that looks a lot like the HQ trivia guy.
Also, I thought it was actually John from The Office.
Oh.
Looks like him as well.
Who is that guy? He's got great moves. I need him to teach me a thing or two.
Well, it was obviously a setup, but it worked great. Now, that Usher, not the only person who was hyped up for the home team.
That's right. The Red Sox fans from all over New England are rallying at Fenway Park and outside as well. That's where Jess Gagne is. Hey, Jess.
Hey guys, yes, it's opening day at Fenway Park, and boy is it a very windy and very exciting one. We've got extra innings. I love it. Another fantastic performance by David Price, and now the game is tied 2-2 in the 10th. We will have a score update coming up for you on News Center at 5:30. And of course, just like every opening day, Mainers come down. They want to be a part of it. We actually met up with two Mainers in Wyndham before we headed here. Rachel Jupe and Bethany J. Quees made the trip to opening day, and they've actually made it an annual tradition. The longtime Red Sox fans have gone to almost every opener in the past decade, usually bringing along family and friends to join in on the fun. The only one they missed was in 2013. That is the year they got married. They say they plan to keep the tradition no matter what the cost, because the atmosphere and excitement is priceless.
I'm going each year. I'm start looking, and the thing is that everyone says, "Well, where do you sit?" I'm like, "In the bleachers." I love sitting in the bleachers for opening day.
There's just something magical about it, and like dads with their kids and moms with their kids, and every age and every walk of life, and everybody's just there for the same reason. I don't know. It just feels really special to me.
We'll have more from those Mainers and many, many more that we met here at Fenway Park coming up at 5:30. And of course, we'll have a score update. Guys, I'm going to send it back to you because I got to get back to that little screen over there so I can watch what's happening.
Sounds like a good plan, Jess. Thanks so much.
Yeah, Sox were down 2-0 in the bottom of the 9th, and they rallied. It's 2-2, extra innings, the bonus baseball on opening day at Fenway, and you're freezing?
Yeah.
Right. A lot of people walking in wearing winter coats. Looks like more people were dressed maybe for a game at Foxborough.
And they stopped selling concessions after like the 7th inning, so you can't even go get like a hot chocolate right now. So sorry.
Bundle up. It is cold. The temperatures are cold, right? But it feels even colder with the wind. I mean, the winds today were gusting like 40 to 45 miles an hour. Look at the current wind chills right now. Even in Portland, it only feels like 29 degrees. Feels like 22 in Bangor. Feels like just 12 in Millinocket. So very cold temperatures out there right now, and these are the current wind gusts. Most of us now gusting to around 30 to 35 miles an hour. Peak wind gusts for most of us today were around 40 to 45 miles an hour, but even as we go into tonight, it is still staying breezy. We'll get a little bit of a break overnight, but look at tomorrow afternoon. Those winds pick right back up. These are the wind gusts. Again, 30 to 35 miles an hour for tomorrow. So slightly less than what we had earlier this afternoon. Saturday morning, not too bad, but watch the wind gusts as we get into, as we get into Saturday afternoon, they will increase again. And it'll still be breezy right through the weekend, actually, both Saturday and Sunday. If you just look at the satellite radar, not a lot going on, right? If you look outside, it's nice and sunny, at least in central, southern, and eastern Maine. Northern Maine still seeing some clouds, but then if you look well off to our west, that's the next system that'll move through. Thankfully, it's just a clipper system. It is going to bring snow, but it doesn't look like it'll bring a lot of snow. So I think for most people, that is good news. Tomorrow morning, temperatures starting out in the upper 20s to around 30 degrees. As we go throughout the day, most of us warm up into the upper 30s to about 40. Those clouds really increase as we get into tomorrow afternoon. 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, some snow starting to move into far southern and western Maine. 5 o'clock, you're heading home from work. Snow all the way up to Bangor and Bar Harbor. Waterville seeing snow at this time. Portland still seeing snow, so we could have around an inch of snow on the ground for your drive home tomorrow evening, so just make sure to take it slow. Now temperatures will warm up and we will see that snow change over to rain fairly quickly. This is 10 o'clock on Friday night and most of us have changed over to rain. And then by Saturday morning, things clear out pretty quickly. So I guess some good news with this one is we're not expecting a lot of snow, but we will see some. Few snow showers left across northern Maine for the day on Saturday. Temperatures warm up to about 40 degrees, which is about 5 to 10 below where we usually are at this time of year. Sunday doesn't look too bad, although it's going to say chilly. All right, this is not an impressive snowfall map. I just went with a coating to 2 inches statewide. No reason to really get fancy with it. Many of us, especially closest to the coast, will be closer to the coating. Farther inland will be closer to about an inch or two of snow. And we're watching another one. Next Tuesday and Wednesday, we could see another round of snow, and this could be accumulating snow for the entire state. I don't know about you, but getting pretty tired of it. All right, here's a look at our extended forecast. Again, snow starts late tomorrow. It'll change over to rain for most of us, especially closest to the coast. A pretty chilly weekend, and it's going to stay breezy both Saturday and Sunday, and then watching another storm for next Tuesday and Wednesday, because why end it now?
I have to tell you.
Scaring me. Right
I'm just telling you.
At least I have
you're
the heads
like
up.
all springy. You're
we're
all
trying.
springy,
We're ready for the vibes.
And
I
then
will
you
say,
come
though,
in like the cold miser.
I
What
will
is
say
that?
though, I'm glad to know ahead of time I can prepare. I have an outdoor tournament this weekend for my field hockey team, and we're going to be outside both Saturday and Sunday. At least we know how to prepare.
Yeah,
we can dress in layers. Yeah,
definitely.
I feel bad for all the parents that are going to be watching on the
It
sidelines.
does not make me feel better.
You're welcome.
Sorry.
Bye.
Bye.
As 87 million of us grapple with the fact that we're Facebook sacrificial lambs, it would appear our love lives are too, and that's all thanks to their privacy settings they updated yesterday. Now, if you use Tinder, you already know exactly what I'm talking about. Users on the dating app were locked out from their accounts with a ton of login errors. Both Tinder and Facebook both acknowledged the issue and said they were working to fix it. And when they finally did, Tinder users found, dun dun dun, all of their matches and messages were erased, leaving all of their work fostering a potential romance hanging in the balance. And now Annie needs your help. If you know a Tyler who used to work at Lover's Lane, goes or went to Ivy Tech, and has short little dreads, please let a girl know. And TJ knows exactly who he was talking to and just needs to reconnect. Tinder, I'm pretty sure I matched with Rihanna just before the crash. You'll have to take my word for it. She's not appearing in my matches. Can you sort it out? Shoot your shot, DJ. But some people are taking it all in stride. Kelsey says, I'm taking the fact that Tinder crashed and deleted all my matches as a sign. They were trash and I deserve better.
See, you know I'm the old fuddy-duddy on the team here. I don't get Tinder. I mean, I get it, but
Jess is laughing over there.
I mean, I understand it.
Imagine legal for trying to use Tinder.
Like, come on, man. I think the fact that it crashed is a sign it should just go away.
Well, okay, I will say when it first came out, it was kind of like a joke, but now people genuinely use it and find, you know, their husbands or their wives on there.
Well, I will agree that I like what the last person said about how that's just a sign. Clear out whoever I had there, and we're gonna
clean slate, guys.
So,
clean
exactly. So, thank you.
Lindsay.
Let's go to Lindsay.
Take a look at this. It looks like a flash drive, but as we told you Monday on Now, it's actually the latest trend in e-cigarette vaporizers called Juul, and its clever disguise is making it super popular. A school resource officer told us kids are trying to sneak these e-cigs into schools, and administrators are looking for them. You can find that entire interview on our website and mobile app. But there's another layer to this, and it starts with a story spread online. There's social media buzz claiming juuling has resulted in several young people getting cancer. Are those claims legit? We verify. We first checked with the company, Juul. They put out a statement on Reddit calling the claim unsubstantiated and reckless. Then we took a closer look at the tweets. There aren't any links to the CDC or studies about minors diagnosed with cancer after juuling. So we reached out to our own experts, and they say the real concern here is all that nicotine.
Some of them think maybe they're getting a low-level nicotine. It turns out you're getting a high-level nicotine product. A single cartridge has enough nicotine to equal an entire package of cigarettes.
And according to a 2016 report released by the CDC, nicotine use can do damage to a growing adolescent brain. Plus, it's addictive, but no reports of cancer being an immediate effect. So we can verify false. A rash of minors juuling haven't been diagnosed with cancer. But Dr. Wickenoff says it's taking years, or will take years, for cancer to develop, while immediate effects like bronchiolitis and wheezing are already showing up. Lee?
All right, let's take a look at what's coming up on News Center Maine at 5:30. Rob Caldwell here with that.
Nearly 40 people are homeless after a big apartment fire in Biddeford this week. So how are they trying to get back on their feet? Well, they're getting a big boost from some friends and neighbors. We'll tell you about those efforts. And it's not the Masters at Augusta National, but some Mainers are delighted to be out on the golf course for the first time this year. Watch out for any snowbanks that might be hazards. Those stories and more all ahead on News Center at 5:30.
Take out the foot wedge if you get caught in a snowbank, right? All right, thank you, sir. Lindsay.
The sand wedge, snow wedge does the same thing. Okay, only a few minutes left now. We're going to check in on our Pulse poll. Only a few minutes left now to vote on that today. Who should be able to purchase the overdose antidote over the counter? Go to pulse.newscentermaine.com to make your voice heard. Real quick, let's take a look. 16% of you saying 18 and older, 13% 21 and over, and continue to vote. We will take your votes as they come in. Stay with us. More now when we come back.
All right, take a look at these Pulse results, and look at that. It's 58% say no, Narcan, naloxone should not be sold over the counter. 13% say no age limit at all. 11% say over 21, and 18% of you say over 18. We thank you for taking part in that Pulse poll. Appreciate it.
And keep the convo going on Facebook.
All right, Easter Bunny the past weekend dropped off a Christmas gift at a petting zoo in Waterville. It's baby Mistletoe. It's the first reindeer born in Maine in 20 years, according to Pony Express Zoo Facebook page. Candace tells us they got the reindeer Coco last October. They weren't sure entirely that she was actually pregnant, but this past Easter, they got Mistletoe, 12 pounds. Candace says Mistletoe will join her mother Coco on the holiday visit to L.L. Bean, Kittery Trading Post, coming up this winter.
How sweet is that? Something, another reason to look forward to the holiday season.
See, there you go.
All right, News Center Maine at 5:30 starts right now.